Are we live? Hi, everyone. I hope you guys can hear me. Guys, I'm sorry we had some technical difficulties, but I'm here now. I'm going to jump right in because I know you guys been waiting. Okay, yeah, we're good. Hi, everyone. I'm Gia. First and foremost, I'm going to introduce myself. So today, we're going to be partnering with El Maquillage. We're going to be talking about foundation. A little bit about myself. I've been a professional makeup artist based in New York City. I was gonna say NYC, New York City. In New York City for over 10 years now. Yeah, so I'm super excited. We're gonna be talking about one of my favorite foundations ever. Also, feel free to drop some questions in the live chat. And towards the end of the video, I will be answering all your questions. So make sure you do that. And yeah, we're gonna jump right in. So to start off, I have nothing on my skin. I do have a little bit on the eyes, but as far as the skin, I have nothing on besides my skincare, which is a little bit of serum, a little bit of moisturizer. Yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna be doing an unboxing. Like I said, today's workshop is it's all about foundation. So to start off, we're gonna do a little unboxing really quick. Make sure I have my shade here. All right. All right, so as you guys may know, I'm sure you guys have seen ads for this foundation. You've probably seen it on Instagram, on Facebook, whatever the case may be. So I'm sure you also have taken their Power Match quiz. And before I do the unboxing, I just want to tell you a little bit about that. Now, over 10 million people have taken this Power Match quiz, and it is very accurate. It has a 90% accuracy, meaning I know it sounds crazy for you to take a quiz online. Usually back in the day, it had to be in person, but now you take the quiz online and they literally match you to perfection. As long as you answer the questions correctly, you're good. So I'm gonna show you how accurate that is. So we're gonna jump into an unboxing. Yes, my dear. So I'm going to be doing an unboxing, and I'm also going to do a demonstration. I hate that this camera is showing my worst angles because my laptop is like all the way down here. Wish it was up here next time. Anyways, all right. So this is what the packaging looks like. I love it. It says El Maquillage in New York. So it's super sleek, super beautiful. Mine is already opened, of course. So it looks, obviously, tissue peeking out. All right. So the first thing you're going to see is it comes with a brochure with everything you need to know. Comes with this super cute tissue. And then it comes with your foundation. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a demonstration while I talk about it. And then, of course, ask me questions that I can answer later. Now, before I do my makeup, because we want to be realistic here, obviously your hands, you want to have clean hands. First thing I do is primer. Like I said, I have moisturizer, but primer is super important for me because I want my makeup to wear all day long. So I'm going to be using this primer. This is also by them. And then I'll get into this also because you can bundle it. So yeah, I'm going to put this all over. Just so the makeup lasts all day. It's going to control the oil. It's going to blur. It's a smoothing primer also, so it just looks very flawless. And airbrush. So that's that. I put that all over first. Now we're going to jump into the foundation. Okay, beautiful. All right, so this is what it looks like. Mine was already open. So cute. And it comes in a glass bottle. Now this does have a pump, so you want to make sure to pop it up. Mine, of course, has been through several uses, so it looks a little crazy because I actually do use it on a regular. So yeah, that's that. Now we're going to do a few pumps. And where's my brush? Okay, it's right here. All right, so I'm going to apply that with the brush. Obviously, you want your brush to be clean. I did use mine. I use mine every day. I'm going to put a little bit more. Yeah, so I'm just going to take some, and we're going to start with half of the face. Now, with the formula, and then I'll talk more about just everything you guys might want to know about it. So the formula is super, super lightweight. When it comes to coverage, it is a medium to full buildable coverage, which means whether you want a natural finish, a medium, or a full coverage, you can get whatever it is, whatever kind of coverage it is that you want. It's all about layering. Overall, I love the fact that it is so lightweight. It literally feels like you have nothing on. And no matter how many layers you apply, it's not going to get cakey, which I love. Also, as you can see, my under eyes, I have raccoon under eyes. So it's super, super dark. Usually I would do like a corrector, but I'm just going to show you guys because, we're focusing on foundation today. Anyways, and I love using a brush to apply it just because for me, I feel like it ultimately gives the most airbrush finish. Now, so far I have a pump, like 2 pumps, I believe I did, a pump and a half, 2 pumps on the back of my hand. And I love to stipple and buff. And doing that technique, it just gives you the most beautiful coverage and you're kind of in control. Now we're going to do some underneath the eye so you can see. And also, what I love about it is also enriched with vitamin E and hyaluronic acid, which both are super hydrating. It gives the skin some smoothing, it plumps the skin, it retains the moisture, and it just looks so flawless. So whether you're someone that's more mature, you would actually really love this foundation also because it's so lightweight. It gives a beautiful coverage without weighing the skin down and feeling heavy. So that's that. The shade that I'm using is 120. Now, depending on whether I tan or not, I'm always like, it depends. This summer, I really haven't gotten too much sun, obviously. So yeah, that's that. And as you can see, it's blending seamless into the neck and the rest of the body, which that's what we want. And it still looks like my skin. Looks like my skin, but better. Obviously, I would still do like some bronzer and all that good stuff just so we don't look washed out. But overall, 10 out of 10. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. I want to show you guys again how it looks. Now, again, I like to stipple and buff. And again, when I first heard about this quiz, I was definitely skeptical because, I'm not used to taking a quiz online and having it be accurate at that. So at first I was like, I don't know about that. Especially, being in the industry for so long, you would back in the day have to go into like a retail store, get color matched. And with everything going on right now, it's a hassle. And like, this is just comfort of your home. You know what I mean? Taking a quiz online. And yeah. And you're trying it for 60 days. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. Make sure you ask me questions about that so I can go more into detail. Yeah, so that's that. Like I said, again, I usually would do bronzer. I love to really layer up on bronzer, but I'm just showing you how beautiful the finish is. Now, the finish is a demi matte, so it's a satin. It's not too luminous. It's not a matte where it looks flat or like super drying. It's right in between. It's like velvet, like skin. Now, if you're someone that has oilier skin and you want a more mattifying look, I would definitely set your face with powder and setting spray or setting spray. Vice versa, if you have drier skin, I like to load up on tons of hydrating setting spray. And I also incorporate more hydrating skincare. But ultimately, you kind of control if you want it more matte or more dewy. But it's like right in between, which is perfect. So that's that. I'll look at a few of the questions now. So Hannah asked, ladies, anyone have any brush suggestions? The one I'm using is the 100. This is my favorite brush. Like I said, it's like that perfect density where it's not too fluffy, it's not too dense. So you're in control of the product and the brush practically does the work for you. A tip from me, I like to stipple and buff just to get that airbrush finish. So Sarah asks advice for when you've tanned. So if you've tanned, I would recommend to, depending on, if you did get a bit more sun kissed, you do want to repeat the test. I'm sure that Il Maquillage can send the link of the text of the test that you've already taken. But yeah, definitely, I honestly will definitely recommend taking a quiz because our skin does change with seasons. Definitely summertime, and then probably repeating it winter, because usually I always have two foundations. I actually have the other one here. I always keep two foundations year round because summertime, I know this year I didn't really tan, but on a regular, I do tend to get more sun kissed, whether I like it or not, because I'm out. But because this year I haven't really been out much, I didn't get too tan. So I'm kind of good with the one I've been using for the last few months. But overall, yeah, if you do get more tan, repeat the quiz. And then you can always alternate with shades. But we do want to get a perfect match. So make sure that you're answering according to your skin tone, your accurate skin tone at the moment, if that makes sense. Okay, so Shabnam, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Looks like you have to use loads to get coverage. Actually, you don't. Again, the texture, the formula is very unique. I'm gonna do a little swatch in the back of my hand. So it probably looks like that. Now, it's very versatile because, again, if you want something sheer, you can even mix it with your moisturizer or just start with a small layer, but it's buildable. So it's not, doesn't mean that you have to use too much product. I just kind of showed you how I like to build up my coverage. But the greatest thing you want to keep in mind is, although it's buildable, meaning it can get either natural, medium, or full, it's never going to get cakey because the formula is so lightweight. So this is what it looks like. And when I tell you, it has like an airy, velvety, very luxurious texture. And then obviously it'll dry down a bit, so it's not going to look, too dewy. Yeah, so that's that. So Teresa Smith says, I have pigmentation. Would it cover like the rest of the skin? So it does cover nicely. Again, not only have I used it on myself, but I have used it on tons of my clients, and my clients vary from different ages, races, skin colors, everything, texture, different concerns. Yeah, and it does a great job at covering. I will still recommend, if depending on the pigment of the pigmentation that you're trying to cover, I always recommend doing like a color corrector before and setting it with a powder, just so you obviously get the best results. So Nadia says, just trying to pause the comments. I miss Gia's comment about the when you tan in the summer. I don't really want two foundations. Yeah, so that's just me. You don't have to do like me. I'm a little bit, a little extra, but I just like to keep them in hand because I always keep several in my kit either way. But again, if you're someone that likes to tan in the summer, ideally, maybe, get one at a time, if that makes sense. And once you use it out, maybe we'll go into fall, winter, and then you can switch it out. But ultimately, it depends how dark you're getting in the summer, because your winter shade is definitely going to be a bit lighter. So in that case, I would just repeat the test again and do it like that, so it doesn't look, so you're not using your winter shade. Where was I? Bridget, what does the 220 color look like? I took your guys' test and it was suggested to use 220. Also, I was told that you guys take money regardless of the product. Thanks. Yes, Bridget. Yeah, so definitely not. What I would recommend is, if that's the results you got on the Power Match quiz, again, as long as you answered the questions accurately, it should be your match. Like I said, I've taken it multiple times, and I've also referred people to take it, and it's very accurate. What else was the comment? Yeah, so what I would recommend is going on their website. If not, you can also visit their Instagram, and there is a lot of reference pictures. And then I believe they do link the person's shade so that you can, kind of tell more accurately. If it's slightly off shade, how do you recommend we lighten or darken it? For Jessica. If your shade is slightly off, well, you always want it to match. Ideally, you want it to blend in with the neck and the rest of the body because you don't want it to look like you're wearing foundation. That's the whole thing. We want to look flawless. We want it to look like our skin, but better. So something to keep in mind, you can always darken up a foundation with bronzer. Lightening it up is a bit more difficult, but yeah, ultimately you want to get your perfect shade. And that's why I do recommend the test because it is very accurate. And you're trying it for 60 days, or you get free exchange or return, which is amazing. What shade are you using now, Angela? So right now I'm using shade 120. I have two of them next to me. When I'm a bit more tanned, I am shade 105, but my tan is kind of slightly going away. I got a little bit of sun, but not like I usually do. So yeah, 120. What about for more mature skin? Samantha Ferrari, dark spot and few wrinkles. So for more mature skin, like I mentioned, I honestly recommend that you give the foundation a try because with more mature skin, you want to really use a product that's lightweight. That is key. Also for like the summertime, obviously, because that tends to have a lot of effect on, the products that we're using. But overall, you want to use something lightweight, something hydrating. The hyaluronic acid is going to be great at plumping the skin to give, that youthful glow. And then if you really want to amp it up and take your foundation game up to the next level, I would recommend using it with the primer, which you're also able to bundle. You can bundle, I believe, the foundation and the primer, or the foundation and the concealer. But with the primer that I use, this is a no filter poreless base smoothing primer. And when I tell you, it's great at blurring the skin. So if you have texture, pores, fine lines, even wrinkles, it's definitely going to smooth out the overall complexion, just so when you go over with foundation, it's going to look more flawless. It's going to adhere to the primer. It's going to last longer, and it is also going to control the oil. So it does a whole lot. Yeah, so that's what I would recommend because it really does make a difference. And that was for Samantha. How would it look good if you have dry skin? So I have dry skin. I'm sorry. I don't know if I mentioned it because I'm a chatterbox over here, but my skin is sensitive dry. Now, obviously, it depends on, diet, if you're hydrated, seasons. It has so much to do with, how your skin is. But me, I'm super sensitive and I'm dry. And yeah, it's great for me. As you can see, it did dry down a bit. Usually I would still set my face with a light dust of powder, and I love hydrating setting spray. But I love it. I love it. I love it. It wears a great amount of time. It has a great longevity, but it still looks natural. I honestly am not a person that likes too heavy of a foundation. Again, especially for summertime, because it's just too thick. And normally we're human, we're going to sweat. So it just gets really messy. So that's why, again, I definitely recommend it. And it's so accurate. The quiz is 90% accurate. So it's a given that, you're going to get your right shade as long as you answered correctly. Any tips for people new to makeup? Laura C. As far as what? Generally, if you're new to makeup, as I mentioned, I always recommend using a primer. It doesn't matter, what kind of skin you have, whether it's oily, combo, sensitive, dry. Primer is key. A lot of people don't believe in that. I personally, it's like my holy grail. I need primer no matter what I'm using because it really does make a difference. This one, for the most part, makes a difference. I'm not sure about like a lot of other ones. Where was I? My foundation shade is 60. What's the best concealer? For me, as a suggested on one, I guess, looks too dark for Abby. If your shade 60, it depends. How do you like your concealer? Do you want it to just conceal? What are you concealing? Is it blemishes? Is it acne scars? Is it like darkness under the eyes? It really depends on the color that you want to conceal, because in my case, obviously I haven't applied concealer yet, but I have tons of discoloration, which tends to be more on like the purple green side, sometimes blue. It really varies. So if that's the case, I would just do a color wheel. They also do offer a quiz, a Power Match quiz for the concealer. I'm sure that the same link you use to take the Power Match quiz for the foundation, you can take the concealer, or keep your shade and then bundle up with the concealer if that's what you want to do. But yeah, I would. It's hard to tell. Ideally, you could probably do maybe like a 7 or 8. Not sure what they recommended. So where am I? Okay, Mary, I've been really wanting to try this, but I'm a little afraid because I'm so fair that any foundation I've ever tried never works. It's still too dark, and that's at Porcelain. Mary, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Sorry if I'm not. Yeah, so they have, which I didn't mention, they have 50 shades, and I love their color range for the simple fact that they offer for all different undertones, which is key to getting the perfect match. FYI. So they have neutral undertone, they have warm, they have cool, they have olive, which pretty much everything you need. And I definitely, their shades, their lighter shades are very light. So starting with 5, it's a very fair shade. Yeah, I think you'll be fine. Take the quiz. I'm sure you've already taken it. I'd give it a try. It might seem darker on the website if that's what you're referring to. If you're using, their pictures for reference, but I would give it a try. Mary, so I'm happy this is happening because I wanted to learn some more about the products because I'm super excited and seriously hope that it works. Yeah, again, as far as when it comes to formula, packaging, and even the system where you have 60 days, I mean, what else? You know what I mean? Like, what else can I say? It's amazing. I'd definitely try it. Okay. Yeah, so you pay shipping up front. Exchanges are free. This little hair is getting on my last nerve. How long does the foundation last? Michaela. So it really depends how much you're reaching for the foundation. I know some people that, go through foundation super quickly, others that, are not using it on a daily basis. So it really depends. Generally, I want to say it's usually within 3 to 6 months. Yeah, if you're someone that likes a fuller coverage and you tend to reach if you tend to reach for the foundation often, I would say like 3-4 months. Can I return products if they don't match my skin tone? Yes, you can, Emily. It's risk-free for 60 days. Sister Cookie. So should we match it to the face or the neck? My face is quite a bit darker than my neck and the rest of my body. Great question. So it really depends. It depends because usually, and this goes for everyone. It's very rare for someone to have the same exact complexion throughout. So face, neck, body. Because like I said, even if you're not purposely trying to get sun, even if you do tons of SPF, even with us walking outside, we will get a bit of sun, even if you're wearing hats and all that stuff, it happens. So either our face is a bit darker or vice versa. So it ultimately depends on what you want to match it to. I always like to recommend you match it to the neck and the rest of the body. Obviously, you want to match it to your face, but overall, it's going to be harder to kind of match your body to your face because it's so much larger. So yeah, obviously you don't want it to be that extreme. Now, if it's let's say that you have like discoloration or whatever the case may be, then maybe a color corrector before and then get your perfect match. But if it's just your face that's a bit darker, I think you'll be fine. Just going by the neck and the rest of the body. You're welcome. Simranjit says, how would it look if you have acne? It covers greatly. And again, if you have acne or acne scars, again, it's a formula that's very lightweight. It's great for sensitive skin. So It's not going to break you out. It's non-comedogenic. It's not going to clog your pores. And overall, yeah, if it's acne that you have, it does a great job at covering. Again, I'd recommend doing a primer. If you need a recommendation, this one's great. You can also bundle. And I recommend using a brush where you can stipple. So you are adding that coverage. Sometimes a sponge, I use sponges here now and here and there, but sometimes the sponge, a damp sponge, will kind of eat up the product a little bit. So yeah, if you have acne, I recommend a brush, a primer, and just taking your time to really blend that out. Angela, looking for an everyday foundation where I don't have where I don't have to do when I get up at 5 a.m. Don't want to be messing around, doing a full face like when I'm going out. Does it look as good as the end of the day? Yes, it does. Now, I don't ever touch up my makeup. The only thing I'll ever touch up is my lips, obviously, because drinking, eating. In the event that I get oilier, I'm never oilier, but in the event that I do, I'll do like a blotting powder, blotting sheets, sometimes blush, because that's like the first to leave. But foundation, I never touch this up. And a full day for me is quite a long time. So it has a nice longevity to it. Teo, I react to everything. Everything makes me break out. Will my skin have to get used to it? So it seems that you're more sensitive if you react to everything. If you react to everything, you do want to listen to your body, because if you're reacting to everything in a bad way, where you're getting, it's itching, you're getting hives or whatever the case may be, you might want to talk to a dermatologist, because you don't want to make it worse and you don't want your skin to get used to it. But yeah, ultimately, if something's not good for you, you instantly react. But like I said, I do have sensitive skin, and in my case, completely fine. No reaction whatsoever. But yeah, you do want to listen to your body also, because, just being honest, I'm not sure if it's going to be if you're going to be sensitive to it. I hope not. Thanks, Gia. Makes sense to do the test twice a year. Any chance you can show us the primer, please? Yes, Nadia. Yes, my dear. So I did use this in the beginning. So it's like this. Packaging also super cute. And it does have a pump. And again, if you're looking for a primer, whether you're new to makeup, whether you have texture, pores, more mature skin, highly, highly recommend. And a little goes a very long way also. And just overall, it pairs really nicely with the foundation. Some products don't really mesh well together. Sometimes you think it's one product and it's actually that like they just don't play well together. These two play great together, which I love. Totally agree. I work 13-hour shifts. Will it last that long? Yes. I work 12-hour shifts. Again, summertime, super humid in New York. I'm fine. Now, something I would recommend, especially for summer, you want to go less on the product. Although you want full coverage, I'd go a little bit less. Not sure if you're still wearing mask or how that's if you're going out or whatever the case may be. But less is more when it comes to summer and how much you're applying. That's the only time less is more. So yeah. But you're fine because it's so breathable and it feels like skin. Emily, I naturally have a red tone, so I match to my neck. Would I still have to color correct? If you naturally have a red tone, I'm not sure I understand the question. So red tone meaning that's your undertone, okay? And you want to match to your neck. It depends. If you have redness, if it's redness that you have, like rosacea or like a milder form of that, or just, a little bit of redness, you could always do something like a green or like a yellow color corrector after the primer. Don't blend it out too much. Their concealers are great for that because they're also very, very lightweight, but the coverage is there. This is that one. This is actually my contour shade. I was going to do a little bit of contour and concealer, but I don't know where my concealer is. Yeah, so I'm not sure if the question was you have redness or red tone. Because if you have a red tone, it depends. Is your face darker or your body? How quickly does it dry? How easy is it to use with the beauty blender or your hands? It dries in a few minutes, not a few minutes, like a minute or two. I love using a beauty blender. I like to use it damp. You can always use your hands also. Sometimes that's the best way in applying products. I just feel like now, with technology and things like that, I feel like a brush is the best way because it's easier. When you're blending with your hands or sponge, it's like double the work, in my opinion. So I like using a brush, but a sponge is fine. What's the difference between a primer and a moisturizer? And do I have to put the primer first before the foundation? Is it okay to mix the moisturizer with the foundation, and why? So this is for Mary. So the difference with primer and moisturizer. So moisturizer is going to moisturize the skin. You always want to have different, ideally you want to alternate products night and day. So daytime, I recommend, again, it's not like mandatory, using something with SPF as a moisturizer. Also, depending your skin type, if you're oily, using something oil-free because you still want to moisturize your skin. And yeah, overall, moisturizer is a part of your skincare to hydrate the skin. And then primer is not so much a part of skincare, but in this case, with this primer, it's pretty much the base for your foundation. Even if you're skipping foundation, you're just doing concealer, or even if you're doing nothing at all, because it is a transparent primer. Again, for makeup, it's going to be the base. With this one, it's going to smooth everything out. It's going to help with the longevity of the products you apply over it. And yeah, again, it's smoothing. So whether it's underneath the eyes, if you have fine lines, if you have texture, if you have acne, things like that. Yeah. So this is more so to help with all of the above, all the concerns, and moisturizer is more a part of like skincare. I hope that answers the question. Okay. Angela, my friend Angela. Looks great. It's like your second skin. Can't tell you have on foundation. Like when YouTubers do the full face, show us the back of your hand where you put the foundation. Oh yeah, is this it? Look, it's dry. Was it this one? Yep. Okay, look how beautiful. See, so this one I have tons of veins. My veins are like super there. Look how beautiful. See how that covered it up? Don't mind my huge hands. I'm blessed as an artist and use them for art. Yeah, so that's that. And yeah, like I said, me, I like something natural that looks like skin, but better. I would definitely recommend it. Thank you, Gia. Thank you, Gia. You're welcome. Okay, Sister Cookie again. Thank you. You're welcome, my dear. Really helpful. Also interested to know what the durability is like. I'm a performer and I need products that stand up to a sweat and stage lights. Okay, girl. Yeah, so overall, I'd recommend primer first because like I said, it's like priming a wall. You want to use a primer because that's what the foundation will stick to, especially if you're prone to sweating more, if you're on a stage with the lights and everything. I know how that can be because I go on set too and the lights are no joke, especially when it's like a long day. So your best friend is going to be a primer. And then with a fluffier brush, let me see if I have, oh yeah, I do have one next to me. So with a fluffier brush, something like this, you want to dab some powder. I would go very light on the powder, maybe like a pressed powder. If not, they have, if you need the powder too, they have a transparent powder, which is also really nice. It's just going to help mattify the skin. So even if that's like center of the face, if you're not oily anywhere, obviously all over, but especially where you would tend to get oilier. Yeah, so you're locking it in with the powder and then the primer, like I mentioned. Okay, what else? How accurate is the test? Super accurate. It's over 90% accuracy. That was for Michaela. Barina. Hey, I have some dark blemishes from hirsutism. I'm worried about proper coverage on finer hairs around the chin, neck area. Best advice, please. Dark blemishes. So I would recommend, if you're not already, exfoliating, of course, just so that you know the areas in which you want to apply the coverage, whether it be foundation, concealer. You want to make sure, obviously, you're exfoliating, removing dead skin cells. You can do chemical exfoliants. That's what I've been loving. You could do physical exfoliants. You could do DIY exfoliant. Yeah, so do that because coverage on finer hairs on the chin, neck area. Yeah, so I would recommend exfoliating, hydrating, and using something like a brush again, where you're stippling that coverage on, but then it's also airbrush. I hope that helps. Is the product non-comedogenic for Realane? Yes, it is. Which means if you guys are not familiar, pretty much it's not going to clog your pores, which is super important, especially for myself. Yeah, so Amberina responded also, remove peach fuzz at home in a salon as it means your makeup goes on. Yeah, so same thing, you can also do that. If it's too risky, just make sure you're exfoliating regularly. Find out what works for you. Sometimes you can do it every 2-3 days, once a week. It really depends what your skin can tolerate. So get to know your skin and then you can take it from there. Jessica, I usually wear fake tan, but don't tan my face. When I do the test online, should I do it with the color of my neck? Yes, absolutely. If you are doing self-tanner, the neck and the rest of the body, usually we want to match the face to that. Same thing with me. When I tan, I don't do the like the self tanners, but I'll lay it on the sun. But recently, because I've been doing like my retinol treatments, I've been catching up in quarantine. Yeah, so I can't really take sun on my face. So I'll wear my big sun hats. I'll be reading my book. I'll tan my body, but then I'll always match the foundation to my body, if that makes sense. So that we're like coherent, you know? Good point. So weird. Okay. All right. Is that all? Oh my God, that's it like skipped down. Where was I? Wow, the back of your hand looks great. Your veins have disappeared. Yes, girl. And I only did a little bit. You saw at first how it was like super like radiant. It was still wet, but look how that covered it up. And it's not going anywhere. Where was I? I'm new to makeup at 50. I've been buying different foundations over the last year. I have 16 foundations that don't match. And Ulta matched me twice. Still wasn't a match until this quiz. Perfect match. Okay, Stephanie. That's crazy. 16 foundations and another match? No. Well, I'm guessing you tried it already, and I'm guessing you got your perfect match. So that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's 2020. We're already going through so much. The last thing we need is a bad foundation match, honestly speaking. So sorry, I have so many questions. I like a powder over foundation to help mattes. Can you recommend a powder to finish the look? No problem, Nadia. Like I said, if you want something to mattify the skin, to smooth it, to lock your makeup, check out the Il Makiage transparent loose powder. Not sure 100% if it's in stock because it's in high demand. But if they do have it on the website, give it a try. It's really amazing. If not, they can recommend some other powders. Their powders are amazing. Thank you, Cookie, Sister Cookie. This has been so helpful. Thank you. You're welcome. I hope you guys give it a try. Like I said, regarding the test, super accurate, 90%. And yeah, give it a try. You have 60 days. The foundation literally looks so perfect on you. Is that a professional result or does it always turn out like that? Although I'm a professional, you saw I really didn't put any effort into it. I will say it does have to do, it's a lot of factors that go into it, but most importantly, I'm going to share something with you. When it comes to getting the most flawless coverage, I like to think of it as number one, formula, and then tools and technique. You're welcome. Obviously, your skincare, you want to have a good skincare. But if you're starting out or if, you needed someone to remind you, formula is key. You need a good formula. And then tools, that's why I recommend something like this. Something that's going to do the work for you. And technique. So my technique is stipple and buff. All right, I think that's it. Great. Thank you. You're welcome. Emily, you're welcome. Jessica. Where was I? Okay, Linda. I've tried other foundation and it either breaks me out or I have an allergic reaction. How is this foundation? My allergic reaction consists of my eyes watering and sometimes they get puffy. Um, yeah, I'm super sensitive, like I mentioned. Also, it's non-comedogenic. It's a great formula. But again, I'm not sure how severe it is, and I'm not sure. It might be a certain ingredient that your body's reacting to that you might be allergic to. So in that case, I would do a patch test first. I'd try it back of your hand, on your arm, give it a few seconds, see if you react, or even a swatch on the face. And usually you will react instantly if it's not for you. Can we see a close-up of the foundation on your face? This is not my side, by the way. Can you see? What do you use to apply the primer? You can use your hands. Another thing I like to use, I like using a flat brush. That's what I usually use to apply my primer. That's my favorite, but I just went with my hands today. You could just use your hands. You could even use this brush. You could use whatever makes you happy. But yeah, your hands are completely fine. That's great. It covers our veins because I have a giant vein on my forehead. So do I. When I laugh, I get the most. Oh my god, it's so embarrassing for me. Like you'll know when I'm like really laughing, genuinely laughing, because my vein pops out. But okay, when you laugh, same here, girl, Sarah. Same here when I laugh. Do they have kits? So I can try multiple items. Multiple kits. I'm not sure about the multiple items. I'm not sure, but what I will tell you is it does cover. I mean, veins. I wish I could laugh right now. It's probably popped out in this video at some point, but I don't think that has to do with coverage because see, even right now, like you kind of see my vein. But yeah, girl, embrace that. Thank you for the tutorial. You're welcome. Okay, is that it? My next purchase is the primer and the powder. Yes, Stephanie, you will love it. Trust me when I tell you. Yes, Emily, cruelty-free. I love these classes, so informative. I'm glad you enjoyed. Thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for asking questions and being interactive. I had so much fun. And I think that's it. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask Il Maquillage or hit them up, customer service, if you have any issues ever, which I hope you don't. I'm sure you won't. Will it be the same finish like yours if I use the Beauty Blender? Depends what your skin type is. Are you oily? Are you dry? It really depends. You can. Like I said, I alternate with brushes and sponges. I love to use a damn beauty sponge here and there. In my case, it does. Sometimes it will shear out the product, so I do find myself using more. That's the only reason why I like the brush more. But yeah, you can still get the same finish. All right, I think that's it. I had so much fun, guys. Thank you again, and give it a try. If you've ever been skeptical, give it a try because it's super accurate and you're gonna love it. So Emily says, can you use a darker concealer as a contour? Girl, I will do it for you really quickly. I will do it for you really quickly. So this is shade 15.5, which again, you can bundle either with the primer or the concealer. I'll do it really quickly. So usually, can you guys see me well? Because why did I choose this angle? Next time I'm gonna be sure to like, you know what I mean? See the difference? Here I look like my freaking, like I have 12 chins. Or maybe I've just been eating too much in quarantine. I don't know. Maybe both of the above. You know we need to do it there. So this just turned into a contour session. All right, I'm gonna use that same brush. I'm gonna move my hair back just to show you. I'm gonna do this first because I don't like this to get, I don't like it to stay too long because then, you know, it's too like fake. Girl. Now, again, I live for the stippling and buffing technique. Same brush. And these concealers, I use them for concealer, corrector, contour. Look at how natural. You can obviously go add more if you want it more intense. You could do less. In my case, I do like a 3, so the outer perimeter of the face. And sometimes whatever's left over, I go right there, so it looks like blush. Do you see the difference? Bam, bam, bam. Look at this one. This one, look. I was gonna make fun of myself, but I'm not gonna do it. No dimension. Dimension, honey. Even from the front, you can see it from the front, My cheek looks so much more lifted. Do you see that? Wow. Okay. I am crazy. Listen, when I tell you, I used to use like a powder contour. If you're a beginner, it's cute, but this is a game changer for contour because the formula so lightweight. Do you see that? Like, it's so like natural. You can also do here. I'll also do on the sides of the nose a little bit. I might as well finish off. But yeah, Nadia said, wow, so glad I kept watching. I need this too now. Girl, I'm going to do the nose a little bit. You want to contour your nose based on like your nose shape, obviously. I'm going to let that sit a little bit while I do the other side so I don't look crazy. If you're using the concealers on under your eyes, also a little trick I do, I let it sit for a few minutes because it really adheres to the skin and it blends so beautiful. Yeah, yes, Stephanie, 15.5. I could actually use a ton of different shades from their Fuck 'Em Flawless concealers to contour. It really depends how dark you want to go. Everyone's different. I like this one because, it's a bit neutral. It still looks natural. And I tend to go high, girl. I use the top of my ear. I want to lift those cheekbones. The color concealer you get with 230. Oh, the color concealer you get with 230. Again, I'm not sure what it is. Do you want to correct? But if you send them a picture, they can definitely help you if you don't want to take the quiz. And from my nose, same thing, same brush, one and done. See, now it looks like I have some dimension. This shade looks so dark. How do you know what shade to pick? What shade? The one I'm using or the one they're recommending? You just keep working on it, girl. Just blend it out. Wow, turn it to a contour session. Where's my highlight? I don't have one next to me. I would do that also, but. And if you really like it natural, you can apply your foundation over and do the contour underneath. For myself, I guess trial and error, but yeah, look at the pictures on the website. It looks incredible. Thank you. Again, some people like to go intense, some people like to do natural. I'm kind of right in between. I like a good snatch. All right, now I'm really out of here. It looks incredible. Thank you, my dear. I used to be on the email list, but for some reason I stopped receiving these notifications. No, definitely subscribe again, or maybe Il Maquillage could help with that for Katie Tat. Is it okay to want to go a shade lighter in foundation? Absolutely. For Samira, it's really preference, whatever you prefer. Whatever makes you happy, to be honest. All right, guys, I'm out of here. You're welcome, Emily. Thank you guys for tuning in. I had so much fun. Give it a try. You will not regret it. And if you want, tag me. I want to see your looks, and tag Il Maquillage also. Melissa, no, it won't. For the most part, no. I have super dry eyes also. I recommend, again, exfoliating lightly, maybe even using like a retinol. But that's a whole nother story. Or an eye cream to help with that. But the primer also will smooth that out. All right. Bye, guys.